So February has already come and gone. We're now heading into March. I always say it's unbelievable how the year goes so quickly. And I think it was a pretty interesting month. I mean, it was actually a good month. I wasn't expecting any great moments during the month, but it turned out to be relatively good in the end. What transpired is that the auctions had a lot of people coming to our auction sales. I think that I think that people are watching the auctions. They want to see what's going on. They want to see if prices are stabilizing. There was some great data coming up, but then all of a sudden, it just seemed like the market went quiet. And our auctions were tough. I mean, all three auction sales in Durban, in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, they were difficult. They were tough markets. People didn't really have that huge buying activity. And so I certainly came out of the first Cape Town auction a bit concerned, a bit worried, concerned that the market was going to be difficult. And in fact, in the end, it wasn't that difficult. There were a lot of transactions which were confirmed afterwards. We closed a lot of the big sales. Probably some of the more exciting sales in Cape Town, we sold the old Spur head office, which achieved a good price. That was one of those auction sales where we were never quite sure that people were interested. But all of a sudden, we had big bidding activity on the floor. And we received over 13 million rand. In Johannesburg, we sold some nice commercial properties. There's a lot of appetite for retail property, which is good. And we saw some nice activity. A lot of the sales were closed after the auction sale, which seems to be a bit of a trend. A lot of post-auction negotiation happening with sellers and buyers after the auction sale. A market which was particularly good, in fact, was game farms. And I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden we've seen a lot of game farms coming to the market. And on the other side, we've seen great demand for them. And so my colleague Peter Rael in Johannesburg sold a very nice farm in Valwater. Down here in the Western Cape, we sold a game farm. My colleague Peter Geldenay sold another farm up just north of Gauteng, the northern Gauteng region. He sold that one for 13 million rand. So that was pretty good. Durban, again, still a little bit quiet. We sold we sold a church, which was quite interesting. So unusual properties seem to be going quite nicely. And then, generally in terms of sort of market trends and things we're picking up, I mean, there's no doubt about it that this recession is far from over. I saw an interesting comment yesterday in the paper to say, South Africa is recovering nicely from the recession, maybe in certain sectors, maybe in manufacturing. But certainly what we're picking up is we're still picking up a tight market. We're picking up a difficult market. We're still picking up some major distress. I've been to look at some very luxury homes across the country with distressed sellers, and that's going to come through into the March period. I think the big factor for us is next month, March. March is a great indicator in the auction business. It always is a great indicator. It takes us to the end of the first quarter, and April being so many public holidays. But there is interest, there is activity, and we're taking around about 3 billion rands worth of real estate to auction in March. And March will be the big indicator. March will show us what the market's doing. March will tell us, is South Africa in recession or are we out of recession? March will tell us whether the residential property market is in an improved situation or not. My gut feeling is this year's still going to be tough. My gut feeling is that we'll sell a lot of things in March, but I think it's going to be a difficult market and it's going to be a tough market. And so we've still got some time now before we're back to the heady days of 2007 and 2008.